So, good morning, happy new year. Hope everyone's doing well. Wasn't really looking at doing another video for now until my new package arrives that I've ordered off Tinterweb. But things have escalated a little bit, one way or the other, and this is the current scenario on New Year's Day. So, I'm assuming most people know, get out sunlight, most people know what that is and what that means. All the tools, the spanners, everything's out. And the car is, let's get a torch, where's my torch over here? And the car is in bits. Oh, let's go out of the way. So, I've learned a little bit. And it's been quite interesting because when we put the engine in, I never thought I'd be able to work on it, how much crank moved it over to fit the DSG box. I never thought I'd be able to get at the cam belt end, and obviously covers off. You may notice that the cover is slightly, should we say, chopped, and there's a multi-tool there. Yeah, so situation is, when I was at Pod, I had a oil leak from the driver's side. Now, I haven't had this oil leak before, and it was a bit worrying and a bit annoying more than anything, because obviously at Pod, if you get onto the track and the track crew see any drips, etc., then they're going to push you back. And obviously it's a big worry as such, obviously, once you get into competition, that you're going to get knocked out basically based on a drip or two or three or four. So whilst I was at the Dash GTI show and Flame and Thunder, Wayne, I think Brad helped as well, amongst others, got down underneath the car and give it a wipe for me before we went round. It wasn't a dramatic leak, but it was an annoying one, and obviously thinking it's only going to get worse. So I thought, basically, when I messed about with the alternator scenario that I had, for anyone that follows me on Facebook has seen that before, would have seen the clearance issues I had trying to make the 1 litre courser alternator fit, and it wouldn't, and I had the grinder in there and all this sort of stuff, and I thought I'd nipped the sump and basically made the sump leak. Obviously I don't run a gasket, it's just sealer, so I thought I'd mess the sealer up a little bit. Yeah, blah 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 blah. So over winter I've took the sump off already, resealed it all, bought a new O-ring and a new fitting for the oil feed pump, or feed fittings for the turbo that comes out of the oil pump, and resealed all that. For great, buzzing. So ran it up to temperature, and sweet. Left it a couple of days and I come back and the drips were still there. Oh, shit. Okay, well, it's not that then. So long story short, I'll just spin it round. If I can get down here. So what I've got is this. How can I put this? How can I put this? Is that there? No, let me put this there. Ish. Yeah. So if you can see, I've got all this here. I don't know if you can see. It's a bit wet. Can you see? The camera's not picking it up, but yeah, you can see a bit of oil around there. You can also see where I've RTV'd it to help. I've also got this fit in here. The bolt wasn't great and the thread's not brilliant going into the oil pump, so I'll put a new bolt in there. It seems to have got it okay, not too bad. But what I've got is, so there's the copper washer. I think I said O-ring. There's the copper washer that I replaced, and I changed this fitting as well because that fitting had got a bit of a mark on it. I caught it with a grinder. Obviously it's not great. So scenario is that I've got this leak coming in round here, and it drips onto the subframe, and obviously drips off the back. I think it drips down to sort of down that there and then into there. And then obviously just quick wipe over it, it's away it goes. I have got the under tray, as you can see over there. Better? No. Yeah, that's my under tray that Raggy did for me, and it works well, but it fits inside the subframe, so it doesn't catch any of the oil. So I thought what I'll do is over the winter, obviously, like I said, I'll change the sealer on the sump and it'll fix it. Now, long story short, he didn't fix it, and when I came to it, I had a look around and I could see. I'm in the way of the camera now. I'm trying to do this with a torch. I could see a leak dripping from, my finger is there, which is obviously the back plate, and it was coming from behind what I think is the cam belt cover. So just rearrange the camera. Where are we? Can I put the torch on this actually? Oh, that's better. Put the torch on the phone. So yeah, it's coming from there basically. So I thought, right, the only thing that I know I've messed about with is when I had another issue back in the summer, and I took the heads off, I didn't replace the cam seals. I haven't replaced these cam seals a couple of times, to be fair, and they've been off and they've always been okay. I can see, if you look down at that bolt there, which is one of the grub screws in the head, that's wet. And obviously the cam seal behind it all looks a bit wet, shall we say. So I am hoping that it's just the cam seal. However, on these V6 engines, I suppose with all engines really, I've got to take all the fucking cam belt cover off, all that sort of stuff. All the injectors are all out again because you have to take it all off. Yeah, here we are. One thing I was gonna show YouTube, if I can just get rid of this a second, was the scenario with regards to the injectors, and how I have to take all the engine apart to get to them. So obviously the injector rail, fuel rail, whatever you call it, will sit in across here basically, which I've got. Yeah, there. I'd like to take it off because Raggy did this for me years ago, and welded them fittings on. But obviously if I try and turn these, it potentially could end up snapping the fitting off, and I fucking hate that because that's not going to end well, is it? So long story short, you can see I have mole grip them before to hold them, to react against it, to keep it on, but hence why they're paint marked as well, so I know they're hopefully not moving. So I like to take it off like that. So yeah, to get them out, like I say, you've got the top part of the manifold, then the fuel rail, and to actually get the heads off, you have to take this piece off, and then you've got another piece at the bottom as well. Yeah, it's quite fun. So annoyingly, now I've got to take off the cam sprockets and redo the cam belt. Not a big issue. I need to take off the rocker covers, so this inlet's got to come off because you can't get at these bolts here to take the rocker cover off, because what I do is I hold the cams inside. There's a 22mm spanner you can put on the end of the cams to hold it, to react against it, to torque the bolts up. Also with these, I've got some aftermarket cams in, so they don't tie them up brilliant. Ideally you want verniers, but I did run them years ago, but I didn't get on well with them, so I binned them off. And you have to fuck about a little bit, to be fair, spinning them forwards, backwards, just to get it in line. So yeah, from a running, driving car that was on the dyno, not next week, the week after, I've had to push it back because my parcel hasn't come yet, so I want that on ideally before spin it round. Yeah, before turn the torch off because it's blinding me. Before I go on the dyno, because I want to test that out on the dyno, I've now got to pull half the engine apart. Like I said, I'm quite chuffed that I've had to do it in some respects, because it now means that to work on the head cylinder head wires or whatever top end, I haven't got to take the engine out, which was obviously a massive thing. Like I say, I have had to cut that cover to get it off, because there's no way, I'll show you down here again, there's no way it comes past the water pump otherwise. The only other scenario I've got is I can't get the water pump pulley off because yeah, it just won't happen. But I don't need that to do the belt. I can just literally put that back in place and hold it there. And if I do need to change the water pump pulley, I have got a water pump pulley, the pump itself. I think if I release them, it's 3 bolts. If I release the 3 bolts, I think I've got enough in there to be able to get it out. So yeah, happy days. Yeah, so this will be like part 1. I'll do another video, sort of not a tech video, but of how I time the belt up and all that sort of stuff. I've ordered me a tripod off the old Amazon, so I should be able to poke that somewhere and do like a, I don't know, an action video, whatever BS. Yeah, so that's the current scenario. It's New Year's Day. I've had 2 weeks to do this, but I decided to do it on the day before New Year's Eve. And yeah, never rains, but it pours. Speak soon. Cheers.